Hey, how's it going, everybody? Finally gathered up enough shit to do a pickups video for you guys. A little bit of this and that this time. I'm going to start out with video game pickups, then I'll show the knives and the boombox, and a few other oddball things. Fortunately, one of them is too big to show you guys. Let's say I've been sleeping in it the last 5 days or so. Got myself a new chair, or at least new to me. As in, it's like new. It's dated 2006, but it's like new. Whoever had this barely used it. Anyway, it's got a lazy boy recliner, about a $500 to $600 chair for $13. It was one of those outdoor sales to where it wasn't really a yard sale. It was more they had a warehouse packed full of stuff. This lady said they couldn't even walk into it. As soon as you open up the door, just a wall of stuff to where they had to take a little bit at a time. I'm thinking of somebody that passed away that had a lot of stuff in storage, so they had no sentimental value or whatever, and we're just getting rid of stuff for cheap. So, right place at the right time. Man, that's got to be about the best chair I've ever owned. The thing is built like a tank. Anyways, that's my mega score. It was the knives, but now that's my mega score. The knives, good enough, man. That's definite score on them that I'll be showing here pretty soon. Otherwise, got a nice pile of video games to show here. Got these two at a yard sale. It's funny, as this was the only one they had for Game Boy Advance. They just had a little pile of video games. Anyways, this was $1, and it's a good game. This is Iridian 3D. It's one of those shoot 'em ups to where it's straightforward, like you're flying down tunnels and through caves and stuff. So pretty damn cool. This one, I can't remember if I have this loose or not. Otherwise, I've got it boxed without the manual, and it's in really good condition. Got Medal of Honor Heroes 2 for the PSP for $3. Alright, this one, I got some boxed games previous to this a few weeks back. This one must have gotten thrown in another box of stuff and she just set it out as it was the only one she had left. Was this for the Sega Master System? Got a zillion. And it looks like one of those side-scrolling type, walk-around type shoot-em-ups. And then after watching some vids, it looks like the map's changed to where not only is it a side-scroller, it looks like it's where it's like bird's eye view or whatever. So, haven't tried it yet. I'm hoping it still works. Looks like it just needs to be cleaned, but I've had good luck with these, so it should play. Otherwise, got it for $1. So, show this in a minute. Okay. A few more from Goodwill. These were all recent. Got Final Fantasy IX for PS1. It's the greatest hits version, but it's in pretty damn good condition from my thrift store. The discs are just lightly scratched. Nothing to worry, keep them from playing, and all complete. I just got that for $1. This, I'm sure, still plays. Kind of like the Master System card. I've never had problems with these unless they've been submerged in water or whatever. This one is pretty much just the labels all miffed. Otherwise, the cart's in good shape. Got Super Mario World for $1. Another Final Fantasy game here. This one's for the GameCube. Just missing the manual, otherwise the disc is in decent shape. This is Crystal Chronicles. In fact, a lot of these games came from Goodwill. But not these. These came from, let's see, yeah, Pawn USA. They were having a sale on them. I'm going to round it off at $3 a game. It was like $3.15, $3.20, I can't remember. So, round it off, $3 a game. It was a good sale. These are all for the PSP. Got Tekken, Dark Resurrection, and all of these are complete. Sega Genesis collection. Prince of Persia Revelations. Then this one, I got to look through them. I'm pretty sure I have this on the Wii. This is the King of Fighters collection, the Orochi Saga. It's SNK Games, Neo Geo. Anyway, it's got Streets. The brain's not working. King of Fighters, 94, 95, 96, 97, and 98. So not bad on those. Then this is something to where I didn't even look at them as soon as I found it, and then noticed there was more of them. I just started grabbing them. I thought this was like a set, but they were all the same book. But for a quarter a piece, I don't care, and it turns out they're worth a little bit. I don't know about used condition, as most of them I was finding were near perfect, but worth more than a quarter anyways. Got about 18 of these books by Worlds of Power for the Nintendo, and this one is based on the Bionic Commando. So here's one of them. And they're all about the same condition. And unfortunately, they all had like a baseball card in them. All those have been taken out. I think that's the reason why whoever had these had so many of the same book. They were getting it for the collector cards. And I'm thinking that's why each one of them has a number that's been written on the spine there, so they know which one had what card. Otherwise, pretty cool. These are worth grabbing if you guys see them. Like I say, man, they're worth a lot more than a quarter. Not a ton, but definitely worth picking up. More PSP stuff here. This one, unfortunately, doesn't have the game with it. I figure I'll find it soon enough. Otherwise, the rest of it's all complete. But what's inside of it is a PSP movie, and it happens to be a good one. It's a Saturday Night Live, The Best of Chris Farley. I watched this all the way through. I had never seen it on DVD or anything. Laughed my ass off. I don't know if it's all of his skits or just outright the best stuff. But man, funny as shit. Otherwise, has the map in the book. And good shape. Let's see. This one's all complete. MTV's Pimp My Ride. Another one that's all complete. Sims 2. And then they mostly had movies when I grabbed these. All the other movies pretty much sucked. This was the only one worth picking up other than the Chris Farley. Got Spider-Man 2. So, all for $1. And this... it's been a few days since I looked it up. I think this is around a $20 game in good shape, and this is in surprisingly good shape for something that came from my Goodwill. It has barely got a scratch on it. And I've never heard of this. This is one of those party type games where it's just got a bunch of mini games, but it's based on Sonic the Hedgehog. Anyway, it's got Sonic Shuffle for the Dreamcast for $1. Okay. I got a couple here that I picked up from GameStop. And I haven't been hitting up GameStop much. I mean, when I can find games for $1 at Goodwill, I'd rather wait till I just hit it off there, man. Why even bother with GameStop? But I was in the area, so I figured what the hell. Found myself a couple. This is one I've been looking for. It is missing the book, but the disc is in really good shape. And every time I have spotted it at the pawn shops or anywhere else, it's always beat to hell. Anyway, it's got the original Resident Evil for the Wii. This one I picked up because it's in really good shape. It was dirt cheap, like under $5. I think it was like $3 something, really friggin' cheap. Anyways, this one's going to my grandnephew for his birthday or for Christmas or whatever, because I got him into collecting video games. Anyways, doesn't look too bad. Looks very similar to the Sega version on my not Dreamcast, but my brain is not working. Saturn. I do have this on the Saturn, the original. Anyways, this is Knight's Journey of Dreams. If I start flipping out in the middle of the video, man, it's because I've been fighting migraines, and the stuff that I take for it, man, it just, the brain goes bye-bye sometimes. I just get too damn relaxed. And a lot of it's I haven't been sleeping good because of that either, so. I try. Okay, more stuff from Goodwill here. These I just picked up because they were $1, and they're all in good shape. Let's see, this one's missing the book. I could give a shit. I'm not into hunting games, but I do like first-person shooters. I have not tried any of these yet. I'm guessing this is a first-person shooter type, and it looks like you also get vehicles, ATVs, boats, snowmobiles, and trucks, so you can run the little fuckers over with them. Otherwise, this is Cabela's Deer Hunt 2004 season. I don't know why they have any kind of planes or anything, man, because, you know, Rudolph does fly, so get some of that Ace Combat type shit going on. Otherwise, for $1, I figure it's worth a try, otherwise I'll use it in a trade. This one, when I show it to you, you'll know why it was $1 and why it's in good shape. And what's crazy, this is one of the original PS2 discs where it was blue. It is in really good condition. I only see a couple of very light kitten butt hair size scratches. But that's because it's World Championship Poker. But it is all complete. This one, I did used to watch the show back in the day. So one of those shows I grew up with, but just never thought of picking up the game or never saw it all complete. Anyways, this is all complete, and I didn't know you could use a light gun with this. So this is definitely one where I got to break out one of my tube TVs. Anyways, got Starsky and Hutch. And this one, in fact, I think I got it in front of me. Just check here. Yep. I also have this on GameCube that I picked up not too long ago at Goodwill. Anyways, now I got it for PS2. It's Medal of Honor European Assault. And all complete. Alright. Now on to the oddball video game related stuff. I do collect plug-and-play games when I can find them for cheap. I thought these were cool. These both came from Goodwill, and I got it with other stuff. This is where they weigh it out, so I'm going to say $1 or less on both of these. Just trying to get this all unraveled here so you can see the whole damn thing. This one's kind of cool looking. Anyways, got the Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine plug and play. It's in pretty decent shape. And I haven't tested out either of these plug and plays, but I'm pretty sure they'll work. They're in good enough condition and the batteries haven't leaked in them. But after watching some vids, this does light up. There's a little light bulb down there, or LED or whatever. So pretty cool. This one, I'll just keep the cord wrapped around it. They had 2 of these. The other one was black, but it was beat to hell, and it was missing the battery cover. This one, good shape. Kind of see old school. It's got old school looking Spider-Man game here. Say, man, good shape. Still has the stickers on the sides. So, should definitely work. This. And didn't have an instruction manual with it. It may not have. In fact, I think it was on the CD, as it did have the installation CD, which on that it was dated. So I just went to the website, found this, and upgraded to the next one or whatever, so everything works good on my shitty Windows 10 computer. But thought this was cool. I like these kind of joysticks for the computer. Anyways, this one is made by Cytec. It's called the Aviator. And I like how they did the controls on it. Most of it's typical of this type, but the way they did the little switches and stuff, they made it look old school like World War II. So that's what it looks like. And, let's see if there's a date. Now they're saying Windows 2000 and XP, so old enough, but this thing is in excellent condition. I'm thinking somebody got this and hardly used it. Man, it's clean and it works great. I mean, it's just vintage style switches there, like it's for a World War II aircraft. Just cool. And they're two-way switches, just spring-loaded, so push up, it does something, or activates a button, and down activates a button, and then I think this toggle switch is so you can even put in more commands, so you can have like your button set for Command A or Command B. Then throttle there, just two-way throttle, or you can have it together. Trigger button, flip up thing there, so you got your light up red button there for launching missiles or whatever, and then two other buttons and the little thumbstick. Man, it's just pristine. So anyways, I want to say I got this for like a couple of bucks, man. It was cheap. It's not all that heavy, so it didn't cost me much. Goodwill. Type of goodwill I have, man, when it comes to just digging through the bins where they just weigh it out, it's always best to try and get a few things together that you know they're going to weigh out, because you can usually get it cheaper. Now, I'm surprised they didn't have this on the shelf pre-priced, so just got lucky. It probably still would have been cheap, though. Alright, now on to the knives. And I don't want to make this vid too long and give the entire Kevin Costner speech on these, other than I got a killer fucking deal. Anyways, these first three I got on Saturday of that particular weekend. In fact, it was our 3-day weekend. And then figured did good on Saturday, might as well get out Sunday and check around, and I didn't find shit. So I figured, well, I don't know if they were going to be running their yard sale on Sunday, but I went ahead and just drove back over to their house, and I got lucky. They still were, and he still had the knives. So anyways, these are all made by Daniel Dennehy. He's a famous knife maker, and I believe he passed away in 2011. Old age. I think he was 88. And on that, I will give a couple links to put in the description that you can check this guy out with. So, if you guys find these and can get them cheap, any of his knives, grab them. His stuff's getting really friggin' valuable. And these, as far as I'm concerned, these are considered cheapies, which are still pretty damn valuable. Any of his really nice stuff, way up there on value. Either in the hundreds, or I've seen some stuff that's even in the thousands. This is one of those guys, he'd been making knives since World War II. So anyways, they are stamped Dan/D, and then his logo or trademark was a clover, and then Del Norte Calo. And I'm thinking on these that he only did 3 sizes. I have not found any other sites, at least not yet, that have different sizes other than these of the particular type of knife. These are all basically professional competition throwing knives. They're all balanced and nice and heavy. Let's see, this one, I think they were a little over. In fact, let me do this. I only found one site that has these for sale so far, which tells me they are pretty damn rare or just scarce as all hell. Yeah, the site where I found 3 of his knives for sale in the way of throwing knives is Crescent Knife Works. Yeah, they've got the short one and the medium sized. And on the medium size, he did do a slightly different style to where instead of a diamond shaped blade or whatever, it's kind of rounded off on the sides. Otherwise, looks identical. And from what I've read, I think he is the one that started the micarta wood craze, where they layer it out the different colors, or to where it's wood and synthetic, to where they get the different layers of color. Anyways, the first 2 I'm going to show you how the micarta, the third and largest knife, does it. It's just a piece of wood where it looks like he stained it red or whatever. Anyways, let's see. The shortest one here is 11 7/8. And all these are about the same condition. I don't know where this guy was storing his stuff, but it looks like they just have some very fresh little spots of rust here and there, which hopefully can come off with some polishing wool. Otherwise, after looking these up and seeing how valuable they are, I don't care. Because they don't look like they got thrown much, or maybe even not at all. They're not dented up. Anyways, shortest one, let's see. It's red and black micarta there. That one doesn't show up as good in my camera. The other ones, it's a little bit deeper stamp. Anyways, you can see the dandy and then the clover and the rest of it. I say just very, very light rust that should come off. Next one here is 12 3/4 inches long. Let's see if this logo shows up. Yeah, it shows up better. Let's see, that was 12 3/4. I'm going to say this is close to 14 inches long on this. This thing is a beast. In fact, I'll show it side by side with the smallest. Big difference on length there. So, on those, this is what was funny, man. The guy wasn't out. I didn't get to meet the guy until Sunday when I went back to get a couple more knives. He was just staying inside and had his wife and either his grandfather or father running the yard sale. So anytime I'd find something and say, hey, how much do you want for these? She'd run in and ask him. And then she'd run out saying, oh, he's got a great deal for you. On these? Fuck yeah. I got all 3 for $20. I don't know if he just slipped on that. I don't know if he was having one of those days to where he just wanted to have some type of cash. Maybe they weren't getting that many people. I don't know, man, because he was definitely a knife collector. He knew his stuff. As in, when I went back Sunday, I told him, yeah, I got those throwing knives from him. He said, have you looked them up yet? Because I gave you one hell of a deal. And I didn't say what I found them for here, as in this Crescent Knife Works. Like I said, they got 3 of them. They're asking $125 a piece. Doesn't matter on the size or whatever, man. That's including the smallest one, $125 a piece. I can't find the damn site again. So the first thing I did was check eBay. I could not find any of his throwing knives on eBay. But started in World War II, so other people have copied them. And I think I found some where I almost thought those were it, and then I realized different maker. I think it was Colt. They were from around the 70s, which I'm guessing on these are around from 1970s. But very similar, and those were going for a pretty penny. Like on Bowie knives and stuff, man. There's one to where it's just like a boot knife type Bowie knife. Just a little short booger on eBay. That's going for a few hundred. And then there's one to where, I can't think of his first name. His last name's Draper, I think. Anyways, Dan Dennehy, and then this guy that was also a famous knife maker. A lot older than he was, so one of those things where they teamed up. and made a custom Bowie knife. That's going for over $3,000 fucking dollars, man. So definitely, if you guys see anything as cheap as I've found that has that mark on it, man, grab them. Everything that I have found by him is valuable. The site that I can't find again, they didn't have these, but they had a double-ended throwing knife that he did with, that was just plain old piece of metal like this, just double-ended, and then a hole in the center to show you the center part on the balance. I think that was going for about $100 used, so very sought after. I guess after World War II, as he was making custom knives for his buddies in the military, and then after that, he got into started his business, or just outright got into knife making to where he was starting to spread it around and get famous. But much loved by the military. He made stuff for the Army, for the Navy, for the Marines, and it was like Navy SEALs and Special Forces and whatnot. So pure luck on that. Anyways, the next day, went back, and one of these knives was obvious on the maker, and I just grabbed it because it was cool. These two, gonna kind of say, worst comes to worst, I pretty much got my money's worth here. They're worth what I paid. This was a $30 deal. This one being so far worth the most, which isn't too much. I'd say about $25 at most for this. In good shape. But it's a cool little knife. Now that I've looked it up, it's a very unique little knife. I'm guessing this is from around the 50s, where you'd get the knife with some pins or whatever, like a little pin knife. Anyways, this is for pipe smokers or cigar smokers, where you got the knife blade, and the tip did not break off. It is rounded for a purpose. That is for cutting your cigars, for cutting the ends off or whatever. And then this is rounded so you can clean out your pipe bowl. Then this long spike here, poker, that is for cleaning out the pipe stem. Anyways, this one, look with my real eyeballs here. It is made by Richards of Sheffield, England. And then this weird thing on the end of it, it's flat, that is for packing your ball. So just cool. Cool little knife. Now this one, I kind of helped him on this. We kind of had an idea what category it was in, but not exactly what type of knife. I thought it was like one of those little fishing type knives from Finland, as I had one of just the basic ones where it's got the wood handle and it's just for filleting your fish. And they usually always have a leather sheath where it's just stitched. Anyways, that's what I thought this was, just an older one. Really, it's not. It's a totally different type of knife, and so far on dating this, anywhere from 1980 and back. I don't know if this person was right. I'm going on somebody else's research here, but they were saying the company that made this, I guess, stopped making them in 1980. So, haven't really been able to date it. I'm going to give you a link showing one of these in good shape, because this one, it's decent. I got what I paid for, but it's not beautiful. The one on eBay that I found is a lot nicer, so you can see how it looked, close to being pristine. Anyways, this is a Finnish Puukko knife. It's Puukko, I think. Yeah, Puukko. Whatever, man. Look at the link. My brain's fried. Anyways, here it is in the sheath. Like I say, it's not beautiful. The leather is starting to dry rot, especially at the end there. But it was just a cool looking knife to where I took a chance on it. As you can see, brass end piece there, the top piece, sheath. The blade, it's got signs of rust on it, but not bad. It could be cleaned up, but this one I'm going to keep as is. just so it looks more vintage. And brass there, brass here, or that might actually be copper now that I'm looking at it again. And until I polish it up, which I will polish that part up just to give it a little bit of a shine, but that might be copper. And then layered pieces of wood there for the handle, which looking at it I see cracks and stuff, but that's just in the lacquer that they used. It's not got cracks in the actual handle. It's just from age. Obviously, this saw a lot of use. Somebody really liked it. And as I say, I'll give an old eBay link on this, on a sold item, just so you can see it in good shape. So anyways, that's all the knives. Oh, now for the fun thing. This son of a bitch is heavy. But this was a steel. Even if something on it is, well, until I open it up, which I could care less. It's something I'll never use. Has to do with the tape part of it, but the button for play doesn't stay down good, so I'm thinking something's a little tweaked inside of it. Otherwise, the rest of it works great. It's in really good cosmetic condition. Got myself a boombox here. A nice heavy boombox. This one's made by Sharp. Model GX/CD56BK from 1991. So close enough to the 80s. As my Goodwill does occasionally get in old boom boxes, it just usually, when they're this old, or definitely from the 80s, they are beat to shit. So to find one of this shape's real lucky. And right off the bat, this only cost me $4. Front of it here. Not real fancy for an older boombox. It's pretty basic on the functions. Back of it, straight wire on the speaker hookup, and it does have a line out if you want to run the CD system on it through a stereo to get louder sound. Well, as for its age, man, pretty decent sound. Nothing like we have now, to where they finally figured out how to match the damn system with the speakers, so when you crank it, it still sounds good, like my Sony. This one, if you turn up the bass or whatever on it, is it's got the X bass. You do got to turn down the volume a bit and get it leveled out right. On leveling, just has a three-way or three-band equalizer. Then just has a slide switch for the bass boost. CD functions, real basic. Play, pause, stop. Looks like it has like random and repeat. Put stuff to memory, however that works. Radio's pretty basic on it. Just typical AM, FM. Does have mono and stereo for the FM mode. Then on the power switch, it's one to where when it's set to tape, that's turned off unless you press play. And then it goes to tuner and CD. It does have a headphone jack. Doesn't have an auxiliary out or anything other than, well, you can almost call it an auxiliary out for the CD part of it, but that's not for the whole stereo. And something nice about this, that I had plenty of boom boxes back in the day, especially through high school. All the ones I had, the speakers, if it got smacked against something, like if you were getting on the school bus and it hit one of the seats, the damn speaker would fall off because of the way they were clamped on. But on that, when you pulled whatever lever to get it unclamped, they'd slide straight up. These ones, see on each side there's a little lever for each speaker. Anyways, you pull those in and the speakers slide out forward. Is they got really strong clamps on these. Surprisingly strong. So anyways, that's that. Oh, top-loading single disc CD player, which worked the day I got it home. So whoever had this took care of it. I think on the tape player, the play button's just got a tweak in it to where it's not catching when you press down. So, yeah, now it's doing it, but when I was popping in a tape to test it out, it wouldn't stay down. So that just has to do with a little metal catcher or whatever. Otherwise, as long as the CD player works, cool. So I gave my tapes away a long time ago. So that is pretty much the end of this pickups vid. A couple other things that I got at that antique store where I found the game cartridge or whatever. One of them, nice score for 25 bucks. I got a vintage floor lamp. One of those, I'd say about, it's either 5 foot or damn close on the height. It's one of those candelabra types where it's got the 3 light candelabra and then a big light dead center. Has a milk glass, I believe it's called a reflector or whatever, where it's like an upside down bowl so it shines the light up unless you put over a lampshade or whatever, but really nice. The base to it, it's a cast iron that's been painted up to look like aged brass, and then it's got a piece of onyx on top of that that is backlit for a nightlight. So it's really cool for 25 bucks, man. I like those kind of lamps. Cleaned up really nice. And then found another lamp about a week ago at Goodwill, and it's one to where I'm thinking you had to like special order it through like Time Life Books or whatever. Anyways, it's a globe that's lit from the inside. And the only thing wrong with it was I had to repair the little fixture for the light bulb. That's probably why it was at the thrift store. Part where it's screwed on to this arm that moves back and forth for pinpointing spots on the globe. It had broke on the plastic, so all I had to do was glue it and replace the bulb. Now it works beautifully, looks really cool. It's made to look vintage. But it lights up the whole globe, and then on the pinpoint thing, the light bulb shines through a magnifying glass in front of a pinhole, so it's just a little dot of light to where when you move the globe, you can use that little dot of light to pinpoint different countries and whatnot. Is this one? It's like a vintage looking map on it that shows like historical stuff that's happened from, I believe, 1982 and back. It's dated 82. Anyways, got that for $4, man. Makes a really cool nightlight. The thing looks absolutely beautiful when it's turned on. They made it to where it's almost got this yellowed effect, like amber. So it's really cool when it's lit up. So, I don't know when I'm going to be out another pickups video, man, as I am broke now. That chair pretty much got the last of my money. So, may not be until next month. I do have my birthday coming up. Sometimes I get money from somebody, so if I do, I'm definitely going to be out running around again, as I've been doing pretty damn good lately on definitely the thrift stores and then occasional yard sales, man. Yard sales seem to be picking up. So, now that I'm creeping into 40 fucking minutes, I didn't want to have it this long, but whatever. I haven't done a video in a while. I'll say bye to you guys. Hope you all had a good weekend. Catch y'all later.